Well, my name's John Fox, and just wanted to come out and talk and give some support. So I am a new city councilor here in Winchester and a small business owner and somebody who just likes to be really involved in the community.
Yeah, and you and your wife, Ann, are heavily involved in the community in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to know you guys very well. And what ward are you
So I'm
Winchester?
representing 4th Ward. Ann's
Okay.
coming to see you tomorrow morning.
Heck yeah, love it.
So she'll be here probably after she drops off the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just got into that. So got sworn in last week, and now want to get involved and do everything that we can to help you guys.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing work here. You've got great people that are going on, and hopefully with collaboration with the city and other nonprofits and groups and businesses, you guys can make the difference you're looking to make.
Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly, and I appreciate the role that you play. I mean, you're a volunteer, right? Council?
No, we actually do get a small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It works at $24.65 a day.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it's not the big money.
Close to super close.
Yeah, all the other things that you do. So no, I mean, if it were to break down an hourly, no, you're not making much money on it. You're doing it to try to make a difference. And make your community a better place.
Yeah, right on. I appreciate that so much. And then you also said that you're a local business owner. I know, but share with us what you and Ann do.
Sure. My wife and I, we own Fox Urban Farms. We have a hydroponic farm that is located here in the city of Winchester. And so we grow all kinds of salads, lettuces, leafy greens, herbs, microgreens, edible flowers. And we do that year round, even in horrible temperature like this. It's still 70 degrees inside of our buildings year round.
Why did we not do the event
you totally missed out.
It would have been a nice backdrop, real
would.
pretty.
It's
the
got
pansies
lights
and the
in
lettuce.
there. It's got everything you need.
Do what? Yeah, thanks for the invitation, John. Some communities support.
You can use my parking lot if you want to stay cold or something.
Yeah, right? Like, hey, Ann, John told us yesterday that next year we can do it.
Going remote with it.
I saw a picture of Ann out there earlier, very bundled up. So
yeah, she was wearing the insulated overalls and stuff up under it. So I mean, this kind of weather now, when we're in the buildings, it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
So you'll then kind of skin down a little bit where it's 70 degrees, but yeah, this is brutal.
Yeah, this is pretty chilly. And prior to that, you guys are from Winchester.
She was born here and lived here until she was about 7. Now, I wasn't from here, but we've been here since 2004.
Okay. And prior to Fox Urban Farms, where were you?
Well, we had owned Greenwood Grocery and Deli for nearly 16 years, which is, it's in the county. I mean, it's in Winchester, but it's in the county. And so we did that for a very long time.
Yeah. And what would you say is like one of your favorite things about this community? Maybe there's a couple.
You know, the community is really helpful. There are so many good people that want to do things and help people out. So really, if you're looking for somebody to volunteer, if you're looking for, I mean, if there is a problem that's out there, there are groups that can really do it. A lot of times the one thing that I'll see is kind of the disconnect between the group that's doing good and then the people that need it. And sometimes they aren't aware of those services, and really making those connections of the people that have those needs with the organization, I think, is one of the biggest things, because we have tons of nonprofits, and all of you guys are doing fantastic stuff. Everybody's doing, not everybody, but there are so many different things that are going on. So just being able to help out, if it's homeless, there are all kinds of things that can be done. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the community.
Yeah, and we appreciate that too. I was talking to Dan Hoffman a little earlier, talking about just some initiatives, things like Wind Transit, things like workforce development. We brought up the whole grocery store, because have you gotten asked about the question of like, when is Winchester getting another grocery store?
Oh gosh, yeah, we get that all the time. Now the Ward Plaza one, they are saying the date on that, I think, is October of 2026 being open.
Okay, all right.
And some people go, oh, that's a long time. Well, there's a lot of work. I mean, the existing stuff has to be demoed, that has to be cleared. There's infrastructure stuff that has to happen, and then they have to build the grocery store, and then there is housing that goes along with that. It'll be here before you know it. And that is going to be such just a happening part of town in the 4th Ward. But we've got some exciting things I'm sure you and Dan have gotten into some discussions about potential things that are kind of coming up. That not to do a teaser, but cities working on.
He said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that are not totally finalized, but some really, really good things that you guys will definitely be involved with. You know, the city is trying to do some really good work.
Yeah. What are you most excited to be a part of with the city in your new role as a councilman? And maybe there's a couple, but
the cool thing that I like is really, and I say it all the time, so I kind of feel like I'm just always talking about it, but it's planning, just making sure that you're looking ahead at the future, and not being reactive to stuff. We've got to look so that we're making plans. And I always tell people planning is not a 1, 2, or 5 year thing.
Yeah.
These are 10, 20, 50 years out that you're looking, because we are planning for my kids, my grandchildren I don't have yet, and their children. So you have to look at this thing very long term. And then what I want us to do is I want to make sure that when it comes 50 years from now, the people don't go, man, what were these guys thinking? I'd like to go, hey, they really went on a good direction. Maybe they've got to make a little pivot every once in a while, but if we don't put them in a bad position, I think that's the great thing to do.
Yeah, I'd agree. What role, and I asked Dan this question as well, in your experience from what you know, what role do you think the city has to play in supporting all of its citizens, particularly those individuals in a vulnerable population, such as individuals experiencing homelessness?
Yes. Well, and that, you know way better than me that is such an issue when you're dealing with mental health that's going with this, substance abuse. The mental health issue is very difficult. Substance abuse and people who were really just going through something, to me, I think you can help them the easiest and fastest. But I believe that the city can financially and coordinate with different groups too, to make sure that the nonprofits are able to get the people to you guys, so where you're doing things. But we do need to have a very good line of communication with you, and make sure that you as a stakeholder are involved in what we have going on in the city, and we don't surprise you with things too, because you need to be involved if there are initiatives or ideas that we have with homelessness and these other things. You need to be part of that conversation. You guys know way more about it than we do. And you're the people who are important to that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I really appreciate like the city's support and partnership in that. I mean, even with our Valley Avenue facility, there was a lot of creativity that had to go into making that a possibility. And so we're grateful for that. And I think a lot of times we talk about this within like amongst nonprofits is that we're out to serve the same purpose. We're out to solve the same issue, right? Yeah. And I think a lot of times people can look at government entities, government organizations, and then nonprofits, and then churches, and then businesses, and think that, we're like against each other.
Right.
And while I think, there are some things that, we can disagree on the approach or the philosophy of things like that, understanding that, we're out actually to serve the same.
You're trying to help the same group.
We're trying to help this, this city, our residents. And not being afraid to to ask tough questions or think outside the box. I mean, it's really taken a lot, I think, for us to get to where we are, and just continuing to lean into that, and be creative in that thought process.
With homelessness, and then obviously you start talking about housing that we have around here. I mean, there's a housing shortage across the entire country. We know that, and I've said before, and it's not something that, not to come off flip, but people talk about affordable housing. Unfortunately, it's not something that makes a lot of money for the developers. If it did, you would have affordable housing everywhere. It would be all over the place. If that's the thing. But those guys they're not evil people. They just have businesses to do, and they're trying to make as much money as they want. I certainly understand. But with us in the city now having certain things in place where you've got to have certain percentages of affordable housing that you have. John Willingham working on the one that's down there.
Yep,
that's
right up from us.
Fantastic. So there are good things that are going on in the city. It's not going to be served. It's not going to be fixed overnight. It really isn't. But we do have to have that thought in our head whenever we're making some kind of decision of impacts that are going to go on and where can we make the correct decision for everybody, because everybody that's in the community, we don't want anybody left behind.
Yeah. And I think I told Dan, I was like, Dan, I don't envy your position whatsoever, because I think a lot of times, from each perspective that, whether you're part of the faith community or business owner, you're living, just a citizen or nonprofit representative. I think we can each come with our kind of own agenda, if you would. But again, I think it has to boil down to like, what is the absolute best thing for those whom we serve, and showing a little bit of grace on that. But
we absolutely should. And as humans, we need to help everybody around here too. I mean, so that's it's the right thing to do. And we have people that are certainly fantastic, good quality people who have fallen on hard times, and we need to help lift them up. We need to bring them back into the fold of the community, because when we do that, it's not only better for them, but it's better for our community. Let people have jobs, let them pay taxes, and do all of those other good things. So get them back involved. And I know that when you guys have those success stories, that really has to just kind of fill your heart.
Yeah, it absolutely does. This is more kind of personal, and I was talking to Mike Molden a little earlier about this, but one of the things that I think you and Ann do and kind of embody really well is the idea of hospitality. I think from the first time that I met you guys, one of the things that I've seen is just you guys are absolutely hospitable in the ways that you carry conversations, and you don't know a stranger, given you guys know literally everybody and their mother in Winchester.
Right.
But you guys are just so hospitable. Why? Maybe that's personality, but why is that? Like, I feel like every time I turn around, you guys are inviting somebody to your home, or you are hugging or greeting somebody and making somebody feel seen. Why is that important to you guys? Why do you guys always do that?
I don't know that it's a conscious thing. I mean, for me, I would rather have friends than people that I don't like. So again, there can be differences, whatever it is. I mean, a simple thing. There could be a political difference. It doesn't mean I won't be a friend with you. I can be your friend. We can hang out. Maybe we just don't discuss politics or something on it. But as long as we understand that. But no, I mean, I think I enjoy connecting people. I enjoy meeting people and knowing people. So, and whenever there's opportunities to help, I mean, that's what I'm getting out of it. Is it just feels good to do that. But it's not any kind of directed effort. It's just, I would rather be friendly to people than not.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. And you guys embody that. I think just this friendly disposition from a handful of people that I've spoken with tonight. They've said that just how welcoming Winchester is one of their favorite things. And I think that you guys embody that every day, every time that I see you.
Well, thanks. Well, I mean, it's a good community. We love living here. I mean, we've raised our kids here, or raising our kids here. So if you're involved in the community, I really think you need to get involved in it. And it doesn't matter if you're just doing one thing, but it makes much lighter lifting on everybody. So, you'll hear me when I'm out. I will talk to people and I'll say, get involved. And I mean that it doesn't have to be you get involved necessarily with the city or whatever else. I mean, you guys need volunteers. Every nonprofit, I would be amazed if you call a nonprofit and say, I want to volunteer, that somebody would tell you no. There's always stuff that you can do. You can donate. You can donate time, your resources, your wealth, or your time is really a fantastic thing. And then you get out and learn what these, what you guys are doing, learn a little bit about it, and find something that's of interest to you. So, I always tell people, go look. United Way has a great resource directory. Look in their resource directory, find something that kind of speaks to your heart. And then go over and say, can I help you guys out in some way?
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that.
It doesn't take much. More people that did this. We've got 28,000 people that are here in the city. And if everybody were to get involved, oh my gosh,
how big of a difference would that make?
In just small amounts. Somebody could do 2 or 3 hours a month, or a year, 2 or 3 hours, and it would just make all the difference in the world. So get involved, do something, and if you don't know where to start, call Lauren. Start
just
here.
Walk up, walk in. You mentioned United Way; they're a great resource. They've got a great resource directory, and then Our Health, which is right down the street, right south of us,
Right.
they have a whole like volunteer directory of all the nonprofits, and so just a great amount of opportunities to get involved. And I mean, you mentioned there's so many nonprofits in our area, and I'd agree with that. And yeah, just so many opportunities to get involved and to help our community.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, John.
Absolutely.
I so appreciate you. I appreciate Ann, what you guys do. Thank you for representing us.
Sure. Maybe consider doing this during like the spring or
October. Maybe, yeah. Our friends out in our friends out in Fresno, California, are really pushing to get this in January. And I was like, So there's 13 other rescue missions who are doing this across the country right now.
That's cool.
So I mean, I was Zooming with Brandon a little earlier.
Okay, give him my best.
Yeah, I know. I told him, I was like, we miss you. Yeah. You know, like we love you. We're happy for you. But yeah, and I was like, it's not ironic that you're in Fresno and not back in Winchester doing this event.
Right. Well, I mean, this is just bitter.
I
mean, we aren't usually like this around here. I mean, typically if you have one day of this, then you go back the next day and it's 40 degrees. It's just, I think we're all kind of chilled to the bone at this point. We've had a long stretch of this stuff. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing just all the gross, nasty black and gray snow everywhere. I'd like that to go away. You know, have the pretty snow. Yeah. The next day it melts and then you're gone.
Yeah. School's open on time. Roads are safe. Kids are safe. And it's like comfortably cold, like comfortably cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I was driving down, not Cork Street, Loudon Street, coming up on the Cork Street side, and like the walking mall is a completely different color because of all like the salt treatments on it. And I was like, since when is it not like this brick red? It's like this weird.
Yeah, we need to melt.
Yeah.
Then we need a nice rain that washes like all of this garbage off. I mean, everybody's cars are nasty. My car's nasty. Yeah. I mean, but I'm not going to go wash it right now.
I know. It drives me crazy. I walk up to my truck and I'm like, that's disgusting.
It's gross looking right now. Yeah. But no, I can't wait to get through this, and whatever we can do to support you guys too. I appreciate what you're doing. You're fantastic.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thanks so much.